What's going on, you guys? So, my last video did super well. Considering my size channel, I got a lot of views, I got a lot of likes, comments, and people asking me to do more of this content because there's just not enough of this content on YouTube. So I decided that I'm gonna do a little follow-up, a little extra explanation of things that you can launch to have a successful coin. You know, my last video is basics, the extensions you need, the platform you need. I'll repeat that once again. You want to have Axiom as the trading platform for launches because it works perfectly with an extension called Uxento, where you can get these two buttons to create coins. You can click create coin, put in your image, put in the name, ticker, links, and you can instantly launch a coin. Or you can vamp a coin. You know, I like coin right here. I copy the CA, I paste it in, boom. It already has the image, the name, the ticker, all the links associated with that coin, and I can instantly launch it again. So maybe I don't like the name, I don't think coin is good, so I can instantly change it to coin, boom, launch. Takes like 3 seconds to do. Even they added a little icon now here that looks like a bat, so you don't even have to copy the CA and paste it, you can just click the bat icon. Boom, there we go. Ready to vamp a coin. But yeah, back to our drawing table. There's 3 things I think you need to consider whenever launching a coin that are very important to the success of your launch. A lot of people, that watched my previous video think that now that they can create coins, they're gonna go find a random meme on the internet, launch a coin with it, and it's just gonna go. That's not how it works. There's 3 things to consider. There's meta. What are people buying right now? So sometimes, there's gonna be coin about Lego. And now suddenly everybody's making Lego dog, Lego cat, Lego plane, Lego index 6900, and just all bunch of Lego coins. So that's the meta. Everybody wants Lego because there's one big runner. And if during this Lego meta you decide to launch, I don't know, random meme from the internet, nobody's gonna be interested in it. You need to understand what is popular in this moment. So when you launch it, people are gonna quick buy it. Another thing to consider is volume. So how is the market feeling right now? Is there a lot of coins on final stretch? Is there a lot of coins migrating right now? Right now we can call this kind of low volume. If I only see 4 coins here, that means not much is going on. But at the same time, we can see migrated 1 minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. That's quite a lot. That's a coin like every 5 minutes that's migrating. That's good. Sometimes this can be like, 2 coins in the last hour, and that's low volume. That means that if you launch something mid, you're not gonna get buyers, you're gonna end up losing a small amount on the fees for the launch. So meta, volume, timing. Sometimes a certain narrative, a certain idea might not run, you know, EU times, for example, as people say. During the EU times, there's less volume, but people buy and hold more. So you can launch narrative coins, community tokens. That's the best timing. US time, for example, when CUPSI is on, DV is on, all these guys, news coins do much better because there's so much volume. People don't really hold much. They just want to buy the next shiny thing. You can dev a news coin. It's gonna pump for 15 seconds and then just go straight down. Consider timing as well. Let me write this down as well. Timing, very important. Anyways, now the types of coins you can launch that are most likely to succeed. There might be more. These 5 came to my mind, and these are the 5 I would like to talk about. Some of these I would not recommend you do. I don't do them myself, such as LARP. We'll go over that, but it's a little bit just not a nice thing to do. Let's put it that way. So let's go over news coins. What is news coins? News coins is when you have a city tracker, you track all the news that are coming out, and then you see Elon Musk posted a meme. Elon Musk said something that could be memeified, tokenized. You can instantly click on UDEV, give it a name, give it links, create coin, launch it, and if you're one of the first ones to launch it, for example, if it's news like Trump or Elon Musk, usually the first 3 to 5 migrate instantly, so that you don't even have to be the first. If the news are more mid, like some kind of Chinese new robot that's not really crazy but it's pretty cool, then if you dev this and you're the first and people like it, it will go. Let me give you an example of a news coin that I've created recently. As you can see, my average buy is 5.6k. I've literally here, that's me. I'm the dev here. I've made 2.7 Sol just by creating the right name at the right time. So there was the when I created this, Elon Musk was talking about Vine, the TikTok platform on X that he's planning to maybe relaunch, and people were buying Vine coins, some different names for Vines, and then I googled something. I made a post about it on my side account, United Quant. Do not follow this account. I change them constantly, so there's no point of. I just use these accounts to create communities and make Twitter posts explaining certain narratives. So sometimes if I would just make Byte and I would launch it, people would not understand what's going on. So I have attached a tweet to this. A tweet that says, "So the new name of Vine is Byte?" Question mark. Literally confirmed. Because I googled what is Vine's new name, and it says the new name for Vine is Byte. It was created by Dom Hoffman, the original co-creator of Vine, blah blah blah. I took a screenshot of this, I tweeted this, and I've instantly created the Byte coin just with this tweet. As we may see, it has. I launched it at 35 minutes 32 seconds. It has pumped for about 15 seconds to 47k and then dumped. Obviously, this was not a crazy narrative. It's just a quick find I did on Google, and because people are so excited to buy something that has to do with wine, because the previous coin, the main runner was like at 5 million or something. People wanted to be early in the next cool thing. They quick bought my coin all the way to 47k. So I did not even buy this on my side wallets. I literally barely had time to sell because it got pumped so hard so fast. But yeah, 2.7 Sol just by being there at the right time. How much is that in dollars? $500. No risk. I just sat there, thought what I can do, came up with something and made it. So I think this is pretty self-explanatory. News, simple, very simple. Now, the next thing you can do is called vamps. It comes from the word vampire, drinking someone's blood, drinking somebody's life force. In this case, sometimes there could be a coin that's kind of going up that may be migrated, but it doesn't have a perfect name. I couldn't find the best example right now, but about 10 days ago, when I've created this coin, or maybe even it was 16 days ago, there was news article about an elephant that stole sugarcane and was hiding behind a pole. And the picture is funny because he's super huge and he's trying to hide behind this small pole. It's super cute. People love coins with cute animals like these. But people were focused on trying to find the name because somebody made the first coin with the news article saying, elephant hiding, blah blah blah. And people are like, okay, if I find the name and I create one with the elephant's real name, it's gonna run. So they started making Yumi. I don't know where they got this name from. Then there was like a bunch of other names, but none of them were running. They were all like at 20, 30k because people were buying them, but there was no 100% confirmation that it's his name. So people can't really migrate it fully because they're still unsure. Because if they actually do find the real name, all the other ones go to zero. So everybody's holding a little bit of each, hoping that one of them is correct. But I decided to just make a meme out of it instead of trying to find the name, which seemingly doesn't exist because it's been like 5 minutes. If nobody has created a coin with real name, I don't think there is a real name because there's like hundreds of people actively searching for it, including myself. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna memify it and I'm gonna call it, ticker Paul, because that's what he's hiding behind, and the name Just a Light Paul. So basically, all we see is just a light pole because he's hiding behind it, so he's invisible. And people liked the meme, and it literally, yeah, it literally migrated. Here I have sold this was my side wallet. I don't have the dev wallet anymore since I changed them. This was 16 days ago. But yeah, you can see. I mean, on my side wallet, I have sold pretty fast on the first pump because I did not think this is gonna go this crazy. I thought it was a light meme, people kind of liked it, pumped it to 20k, and I was like, okay, I think this is the top for it. but then it ended up just going and migrating. So that's a vamp. I mean, there's many examples of vamps. This is probably the most popular coin. You see it every single time. Whenever there's a runner, people will try to vamp it with whatever. Even if it has a perfect name, perfect image, perfect ticker, people are still gonna end up trying to come up with different names that might be a little bit better just in hopes that their coin will take over the main runner. So we understand that. Then we have community coins. That is when you create, certain art. You create a community on Twitter where people can come together and push a coin. It usually has some kind of narrative behind it. But this does not specifically mean that you take charge of this coin, that you're like 100% in charge. That's why it's called a community token. You can come up with a cool narrative that people will like. They will come together and they will be, building, pushing, shilling, and making the coin. So one of the really good examples I have, um, one is called Jenny right here. So I made it 3 days ago. I even made it on my main Twitter account because I just thought it was that good. Um, Here I'm the admin. So we got Jenny and the name is Generational Coin. I made custom image for it. I paid Dex for it. Now, what was the idea behind it? It wasn't just the idea that there's a name called Generational Coin. The main idea behind it is if you go to Google Trends and you check word generational in the last 50 years, you can see what the chart looks like. It looks like a beautiful, a chart that everybody dreams to see on their coin. It's literally just up and it just keeps going up and up and up for years and continues non-stop. So the idea behind generational coin, first of all, it sounds cool, the name is cool, but the idea is that, generational has been quietly mooning for the last 50 years straight. Like seriously, it's been on a steady, unstoppable rise, no crash, no cool off, just up only. And it's one of those rare culture phenomena that just keep gaining momentum and everybody wants it because it's true. Everybody wants generational wealth, generational something. So that's why it's such a popular word that people Google a lot. So I was like, why don't we tokenize the trend and turn it into something that people can rally around? And people did rally around it. So my average looks a little bit cooked here. That's the reason because this is also my side wallet. I think I have it. Yeah, this is same Jenny. I mean, bought a little bit on my side wallet. Sold for 10 sol PNL on my main wallet. I think I was trading it. I was trading it after migration as well. Like I was buying right here. I was trying to push it again. But I took some of the money I made from here, 11 sol. I paid Dex Screener for it. I kept pushing it in the community. So whenever I make a community token, if I sell and I'm out, it doesn't mean that, I just delete the community and I forget about it. I still try to push it as hard as I can for all the people that are in. First of all, because I'm just interested to see how far it can actually go. Because I always love, creating something super successful and something that I can, talk about. But this one migrated pretty fast. The problem with this was that it went all the way to 130k. Then I was supposed to pay Dex and had a huge problem with Dex Screener. For some reason, it put my payment on hold for like 25 minutes. I was busy for 25 minutes. I couldn't do anything else. Just trying to contact them and asking them to actually update the Dex Screener because the money has been taken and for 25 minutes there was no update. So people in the community started thinking that I'm lying, that there wasn't, that I paid for it, that maybe I've disappeared, that I abandoned it, and it kind of crashed pretty hard and then it just never recovered. I think the Dex Screener had got paid somewhere at when it crashed down to 25k and it was already too late. This coin I paid Dex Screener almost as soon as it migrated 120k and then there was just no update, no update, no update, no update. It bottomed out and sadly just couldn't be revived. But this is a type of community coin that the reason it was so successful is there's actually something behind it. So it's not just a name and a picture. There's actually this Google trend with this looking chart. And this is the actual fuel for the community to rally around. Now, another example, I think I've had one more. I forgot which account it was on. It was called Man. I launched it 2 days ago with my friend Weaver. Here, this is probably one of the most successful coins I've had ever. This thing went to 800,000. It almost touched a million up here. Wait, this 400,000? Where was the second pump? Right here. 800,000. I had Lexa Pro buy-in. Mr. Punk was shilling it, and that is all 100% organic. Literally, there was no bundle. We didn't pay anybody for it. People just really loved the narrative. Now, what was the narrative? It was called Memecoin. So it's just a bunch of images and bunch of memes and things that people that man can relate to. This shows everything about man, like the Halo character. We like airplanes, we like helicopters, we like dinosaurs, you know. And then yeah, I can't find it right now, but people here, maybe if I go to the top, there's just unlimited content on TikTok and just memes that people can post uh, about man. You got this GIF that people really like. It's very manly. Uh, then there's memes like the manly urge to send this to 100 mil. So yeah, this is, as you can see, United Quant created the account. It's my side account right here. Yeah, as I said, I use it to create communities. So these are community coins. You could come up with really cool narratives that people can rally around. This didn't have the fuel that I was talking about of like the trends or anything. This is, I did add a TikTok link here. You can see that, people do make content, universal male experience, unspoken universal male experience, peak masculinity, and this is just, memes about things that men go through with, 800,000 likes, 200,000 likes, 80,000 likes, and so on, average male experience. So, you get it. Create something funny and cool. Now, there's LARPs. I'm not gonna go over examples for LARPs, but a LARP is when you can create something people will think is real. They can't quite confirm if it's real or not, so they buy in and it pumps, and then it turns out to be all fake. For example, you can get a Twitter account that you will somehow get a follow from Solana or Tolly, and then you will name that Twitter account, Solana Games. You'll post some content that you're making some kind of cool game that, really there's no game, but you create some fake images, you write it out as if there's, real game coming up. You create a coin about it. Now people will go check the Twitter account. They'll see that, wow, he's followed by Solana. Yo, look at the images of the game. That looks so cool. We're so early, we're gonna buy. And then everybody just wants to be early. They pump it. And then, you just rug it. I don't do that. I don't suggest doing it. But this exists. And so for that reason, it needs to be talked about. In fact, this might protect you in the future if you know that things like this exist. This is especially popular on a launchpad called Believe app that is, usually used to launch real utility coins. People hack Twitter accounts of like founders or companies and they tweet as if they launched a coin. So that's called a LARP. Fuck that. And the last thing we have is tech. So this is if you actually have some kind of tech. Maybe you created an AI agent, maybe you created a game, maybe you created, whatever it can be, something useful for the world. That I'm not gonna go deep into because this is much more complicated of a launch. You can't just, launch a coin. If you wanted to, if you actually created a real product, you want to get some supply, you want to create a treasury, you want to lock some tokens maybe for months, 2 months, a year, so the community can feel safe about your coin. So this is much more complicated. This also exists. I might go over this in the future for actual people that want to launch their tech coins. But we went over this as well. So this one is going to be short. this is pretty much all I wanted to talk about. It's a short video just explaining the 5 things that you can launch to be successful. So the things I want to remind you guys is use Axiom, literally the best platform. It works with Uxento perfectly. Yeah, you get all the extra buttons, and just overall it is the most popular platform out there. So the link is in bio, use that. Also get Uxento so you can actually dev the coins. It also works with Twitter tracker like you can see right here. It works with the Twitter tracker inside Axiom. Um, can't see it right now, but I don't know, disappeared somewhere, but it was there. What else? Like, subscribe, and comment if this was helpful to you. And if you have any ideas on the next video I should make, maybe you have some questions, and I'll try to implement it all in the next video. I'll try to do more of these. I see that there's so much interest from people. Um, if you're watching this video but you haven't watched my previous video, it has the tutorial on how to dev coins, what extensions to use. I give an example where I launch a coin live and we sell it for profit, so that's very interesting. And yeah, that's it for this. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys later.